Loss of 8, second down, 18. Midway through the third quarter. 10-3 after the missed 25-yard field goal. Option, Jefferson with the pitch. Nice tackle. Wow. Janoris Jenkins and Ahmad Black, numbers 1 and 35.
I'll tell you, LSU still obviously in this football game 10-3, but they've got to find a way to get yards. And he's trying to dial up the option. That time Brandon Spikes didn't try to read it at all. He just attacked the quarterback.
Holiday is in. It's 3rd and 15. Holiday near side.
This is the part that Jordan Jefferson is just not ready for. He does not have a lot of experience against this dynamic secondary and package that Florida has.
Florida brings only 3 defensively. Jefferson in trouble. Down.
He doesn't have the experience for this. Sam Bradford struggled against this package. Jordan Jefferson has to be very careful in these long yardage situations. You know, Florida's keeping them in the game a bit. Just a bit. They missed a field goal. They passed up a 38-yard field goal to keep it a 1-touchdown game. But look at that secondary. Look at that coverage across the board. Look at how they're spaced out. And then that pressure comes to the outside. I know that Florida defensive line saw the Georgia tape and said, if they can get them 6, we can get them 6.
And so Derek Hilton comes on, 4th and 22. Brandon James inside the 50-yard line. This was high. And it backs James up to the 40, where he calls and takes a fair catch. 51 yards for Derek Hilton, the junior college transfer. Gators get the ball back. Good field position and a 7-point lead.
Now it's time for the Jack Link's Beef Jerky Action Cam.
Thank you, Vern. Look at this shot. That is a hit. You know, we talked about this game in all seriousness. It's not for the shy. And you can see these hits. And that's Ahmad Black right there coming up and taking on Charles Scott. And if you don't want to take somebody on, you might as well go to the sideline.
Ahmad Black, who had 7 interceptions, tied for the lead in the country last year. Only one this time out. But what a defensive tackle that was. Best starting field position for the Gators tonight. Their own 41. Demps on the field. Here's Tebow. He's gone the distance. Every offensive snap tonight. Recall that he was not medically cleared to play in the game until noontime today because of the concussion. Demps. Kelvin Shepard with the tackle. Let's go back to New York. Here's Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, let's keep it in the Sunshine State, where Florida State, you got to think it's a very important game for Bobby Bowden tonight. They're up by a touchdown, and then Jonathan Dwyer sets sail for Paul Johnson's triple option that would tie the game at 21. Elsewhere, Miami led by Ja'Cory Harris. Oregon State's Quizzy Rogers has 4 touchdowns. Back to you.
All right, Tim, I think I heard Archie say this afternoon about Bobby Bowden. Leave him alone. 2nd down, 4. 5:16 to go, third quarter. Here's the dive play again.
Look at that.
How about that? The pile moved to the north.
I'll tell you, Emmanuel Moody did a great job that time. Talking about the little guy squeezing through, but that time the transfer from USC had to earn his spot here. You know, Urban Meyer likes him, but he's fumbled a couple times, and he's had to earn every carry here at Florida. And that's kind of how it is at Florida. If you're not ready to compete for playing time, you ain't playing. There's a lot of guys that want to play.
Recall we told you that Florida, whoops, headset problems. Maybe the same telestrator thing.
Yeah, it's going around.
Must be it. 1st down and 10. Tebow pulls it away from Moody, drills it low and complete.
Great throw. Great throw.
Riley Cooper. Well, we're almost halfway through the season now. The SEC East standings. South Carolina outlasted Kentucky today. They go to Alabama next week. Georgia got thumped today, and a big win for Tennessee. And out west, Alabama rolled 6-0. LSU trying to keep pace with them. Auburn was rudely treated.
I think it's time to make the point that, this game, obviously a big game, but both of these teams, either one that loses, can control their own destiny. And I'm saying right now, a one-loss SEC champion will be in the national championship game. So I'm saying whoever loses this game, whether it's LSU or Florida, can win the rest and still end up playing for the national championship.
You've not given much heart to the non-BCS schools
Well,
with that
I
statement.
think they're needed. They might pass some conference with one loss, but not this conference with one loss.
I totally agree. I'm just trying to stir things up as if you needed my help.
Well, Florida has other designs. They want to win them all.
Yes, they do.
Right?
And they've won 14 in a row coming in.
What do you do here? 2nd and inches.
Go for it. Well, there's Tebow. He's going to run, stiff arm, and it appears he has enough. Let's see. I'm not so sure. Yeah.
Well, that time, Kelvin Shepherd stayed home as a spy that time, looking for the quarterback draw, and he got it. If they'd have blitzed or brought everybody to the outside, that could have been a big play.
And it will be 3rd down. I think it just started sprinkling. I think we may have some raindrops.
See if LSU defense can make a big play here. They made one goal line stand.
Here's Tebow.
He stuck it in there that time, didn't he? That's the first time he's lowered his head really and stuck it in there.
We might bring the chain out on this one.
Oh, Kelvin Shepherd again. He might be short now. Is it 4-down territory? Back-to-back plays by Shepherd.
Mm-hmm.
I actually saw him at practice Thursday, Vern, and said, I got to hand it to you. You were outstanding against Georgia. He was all over the football field.
Moved into a starting spot. He can play all 3 positions. John Chavis was telling us yesterday he's one of the smart young men on this team. How about this? Well, now you missed a field goal from 25 that would have given you a 10-point lead.
You didn't go for a field goal, and you got stopped on a 4th down play, and then you threw a bad pass. For it could have been a touchdown.
All right. 4th and a foot, Tim Tebow. 3:15 to go.
Under center.
How about that? Trying to draw him offside. Play clock at 8, plenty of time. You got to be kidding me. The crowd loves it. How about that? He was never going to take the snap.
I'm surprised, I have to say. Now, he's playing. Did they take a timeout on the sideline?
Yes.
So.
There's also a flag down, Garrett.
But the back judge doesn't know that the side judge called a timeout or not. So they might pick that flag up.
Delay of game. Offense number 15. That penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. 4th down.
Urban's play into his defense. And now Les Miles has to look at that offense and say, guys, our defense is stopping them. 2 huge drives. We need points.
And so after the penalty is marked off, Chaz Henry comes on to punt.
I'll never forget Urban's faking a punt in that SEC championship. Remember that?
Well, they're 7 for 7 on fake punts for 1st down. But this time, Chaz Henry pooches it, and it's taken by Chad Jones at the 14-yard line. I don't remember seeing Tim Tebow under center ever before. A suddenly misty Saturday night in Death Valley. Wait till you find out what Charlie's brother is doing to earn some extra money Monday on a new 2.5 Men. Right here on CBS, America's most watched network.
1st and 10 for the LSU Tigers.
7-point Florida lead, but they're allowing LSU to hang on. Now, late arrival to the offensive group is Mitch Joseph, number 83, the tight end.
You know, two guys that have been really quiet for LSU in this game so far. Richard Dixon, number 18, their ball-catching tight end, and Russell Shepard, number 10. When are we going to see him?
Here's Scott going left, breaks a tackle, and LaFell kind of impeded further progress. Well, how do you like the teams? What teams do you like who control their own destiny?
Well, yeah, this is the way I like to look at it. It doesn't matter if you're first or second, but to me, undefeated SEC team, Florida, Alabama, LSU is the number 1 seed right now. Texas is the number 2 seed. But the number 3 seed is a 1-loss SEC champion, and then a USC comes in. So USC basically needs the SEC to lose 2 games, I feel, to play in the national championship.
On 2nd and 2, Scott comes left. Jay Howard, number 6. So you see these 5 positions as
I think so, and I don't have Boise State there. I don't think they're going to pass Virginia Tech because Miami's doing well enough. But how does Virginia Tech ever pass a 1-loss SEC team because they lost to Alabama
in the season opener in Atlanta? That is the first down of this half for LSU. And again, they'll go with a double tight end set. Charles Scott is the running back. That is most effective outing of the season last week in the win at Georgia with 95 yards. This one left side out to the 30. That's a 4-yard gain. Teron Sanders, number 92, makes the tackle.
Charles Scott has not rushed for 100 yards in a game this year. But it looks to me that Les Miles has said, we can run the ball, and we're going to keep running the ball. It's only 10-3 because of a couple circumstances. We can run and try to protect Jordan Jefferson and hit the big play a different way.
Now Scott and Jefferson look over near side. Play clock at 4. Blitz from the corner and a flag.
Well, look at that blitz. 2 receivers to the top of the screen, and nobody covered them. Major Wright comes over late, but 2 receivers out there.
False start. Number 53 on the offense. That penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Look at the 2 receivers to the top of the screen over here. 1, 2 right there. 2 of them. Watch this. 2 guys out there standing alone on the play, and they aren't able to get it off.
Well, the penalty, the 7th called, is on T. Bob Hebert. His dad, Bobby, of course, a longtime quarterback for both the Saints and the Atlanta Falcons. T. Bob Hebert. Really Bob the 3rd, but the man started calling him T. Bob. Here we go. Another flag.
Prior to the snap. False start. Number 68 on the offense. That penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. 2nd down.
Joe DeRosick.
Well, we all met Joe last week in a little different circumstances, but Joe jumps off this time.
Somebody served this team bad bacon and eggs at the hotel in Duluth, Georgia last week.
But you know, they fought through it. And
Well,
they because they were sick and they had to shuffle the guys around 3 or 4 different ways to get through that football game.
we had a couple who left everything on the field.
That's right, or what all they had they left on the field. The fans do not like this. Looking at the bench, calling a play. Interesting. Look at this.
Dear, they're not going to like this at all.
Look at this. Very upset. Oh, it was at the end of the quarter. Oh, end of the quarter.
Well, it seems not to matter to some. I still didn't like it. That's the end of the 3rd quarter with our score 10-3 Florida. We'll return to Tiger Stadium right after this word from your local station. +1,100 yards last season, 2008. And tonight, 11 carries for 44 yards. Charles Scott still in quest of his first 100-yard game of this year. We begin the fourth. It's second down and 15 from the 20. Florida leads LSU 10-3. Vern Lundquist, Gary Danielson, and Tracy Wolfson here at Tiger Stadium. Jefferson, four-man rush, pressure. They got him. The sack is made by Jermaine Cunningham. And that's the second sack tonight. Impressions so far.
Florida's defensive line can win games. When you have a defensive line, it's what separates this conference from other conferences. You know, the big teams in the other conferences have the defensive lines, but throughout this whole league, there's that type of talent. This Florida defensive line is a game changer. LSU's defensive line is not.
You know, it's 10-3, Gary. I don't get a sense of sizzle in this game.
No, absolutely not. Too many mistakes, too many penalties. It's not like it was 2 years ago. There's no doubt. This game does not have that intensity.
Third down and 22. Jefferson back. That one short, caught. And Scott comes left. It's going to be fourth down. He's knocked out of bounds.
And that was a protect your quarterback. It's 10-3. We don't want an interception like Spikes had last year against this team.
Right. Brandon Spikes had 2 last year in the big win, and one of them returned for a touchdown.
This was basically conceding a punt on this one. They knew that Florida would be in a deep zone. They got too many athletes that run too well. They just did not want a turnover at this point of the game.
So Derek Helton is on to punt after the pressure applied. There's Brandon Spikes. He is the leader. He is defensively to Florida what Tebow is offensively. This one nice and high. Oh, boy. And it will go out of bounds, so see where they rule that it